Hey guys, Seeney here from Australian Wealth. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video. Now today what we're going to be talking about is the average net worth of an Australian by age. Okay, so when we're calculating net worth, the most important thing is to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps to get these videos out to a lot more people so that they can get this information. Anyway, so let's get into the video. Net worth is currently defined as your current assets minus your current liabilities. So what that means is basically everything you owe, and that is subtracted by all of the debts that you still have to pay, whether that be a mortgage or a car loan or something like that. So let's say that you have a house that's worth $1 million, but you have a $700,000 mortgage against that. Your net worth would be considered $300,000, assuming that you didn't own anything else. So in Australia, the average net worth is $1.02 million. Now that does seem like a lot of money, and of course the main drivers of this is obviously the surging property prices and also household superannuation balances increasing over time. But is the average the best way to measure wealth in Australia? I don't think so. I think that the median is a much more accurate representation of being able to describe what the average Australian has to their name. With the average, outliers that earn significant sums of money, such as Gina Reinhart or Twiggy, they really skew the data. So it's only a few people that actually stretch this data and increase the average by a lot. So if we take the net worth of the lowest individual in Australia, and then the highest in Australia, and we go along and we meet in the middle through every single person, that is what the median net worth is here in Australia. So when we do it like this and we go from highest to lowest and meet in the middle, what we see is that the average net worth of an Australian household is $559,000. So this is significantly lower than the average 1.02 million, and it really puts it into perspective. And I think that's important because, you know, some people might see the average figures and go, man, I'm well under that. But sometimes it might not actually be the case. You might actually be above average for your age group based on your net worth. So it's really important to take this into account when you're looking at these stats, because the average and the median are very different. So you don't get discouraged by this. You might see the average and go, man, I'm so far off that. I don't think I could ever get that. And then having said that, you might be above the median for your age bracket. So you might be in a lot better position than you think compared to other Australians. So on the whole, when you compare Australia to the rest of the globe, Australia is in fact very, very wealthy. And this is of course attributed to rising property prices and a lot of superannuation. So whilst most Aussies might be asset rich, it might feel like a lot of people are quite cash poor, which is the case in a lot of circumstances. There's a really frightening statistic from AMP that says 1 in 5 Australians don't have cash savings of $250, which is crazy. So I've talked about household net worth. Now what we're going to talk about is the individual median net worth of people. In Australia, this figure is $249,000. So that figure is the one that's in the middle, and obviously this changes depending on whether you are younger or older. People are generally at different stages of life. People that are older have had more time to collect money. So obviously that would make sense that most people that are older would have a higher net worth than someone that is really young. Having said that, most of the data collection is for households. So we're going to be looking at the median net wealth for all age brackets, starting from really young all the way through to really old. So here we go. So the median income for the first bracket, which is 15 to 24, is $33,500. So this makes perfect sense. At this age, you're likely to be studying, or you'll have a minimum wage or a low wage job, because this is the point where you're really developing those skills for the future. You know, you're learning all these new skills so that in the future you can get a high paying job or go into a profession such as teaching, you could be a doctor, or you have an apprenticeship. Now, of course, this is the middle person. Some people at this particular age have a negative net worth, which means they actually owe more money than they own. So this can be attributed to things like HEX debt and car loans, any other kind of loans. So now we're going to bump up to the age bracket of 25 to 34, which is pretty much the age bracket that most of the people watching this currently fit in. So this age bracket has a median net worth of $150,000. So for some people, this might seem really high, and for others, it might not seem like much at all. In this age bracket, there is a vast difference in the amount of income that people earn, and obviously that is going to affect net worth. I know people that barely have $200 to their name. I know people that are earning 100 grand a year. I know people that have a net worth of over $500,000, and I even know multi-millionaires that currently sit in the age bracket of 25 to 34. Now, there's a number of reasons for this, and this is really the period where a lot of businesses get started for people. And what that means is that if a business is successful, someone is going to end up generating a lot of money in a very short period of time. However, at this point, there's a lot of people that are 25 that perhaps are still studying. So as a result, they're not working as much, and that means that it's going to have a bit of an effect on people's net worth. So there's quite a bit of disparity at this point in people's life stages. So at this point, most wealth for people in this age group is either sitting perhaps in a property deposit. A lot of people would have purchased a property by this age, and of course, super balance is another one. Okay, so we're going to bump up to the next age bracket now. By 35 to 44, net worth jumps up to $424,300. So there's a lot of factors which contribute to the rise in net worth, because it's obviously a significant jump from 150 to 424. Now, of course, people that are 35 to 44 sometimes would have held a property for 10 years, sometimes even 15 if they got in really early. And what has happened in the last 10 to 15 years is that property prices have gone up quite dramatically. So let's say that you're buying a property for $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, something around that range. Every single year, you've been seeing a significant increase in the value of your property. Now, what that means is not only is your income likely to be increasing over this time, but the value of your assets, especially if you have property or shares or something like that, is also going to rise in value. So you're getting an increase in your income and an increase in your assets. So once you get into property, you can see a vast increase in net worth, provided that the market is going the right way. So the next age bracket is 45 to 54. Now, at this point, most people are at the top of their career. They're usually in senior management roles. They're running their own business, something like that. So the household median net wealth at this particular point is $739,000. Now, obviously, the effect of property has increased the net worth of a lot of people in this particular age bracket, because generally, the longer that you hold a property, the more likely it is to increase in value over time. So a lot of people in this particular age bracket come from an era where property was much more affordable compared to the average or the median wage. So this allowed a lot of these people to get into the property market a lot easier than it is today. So as a result, this age bracket has seen quite an increase in the value of their net worth. So by 55 to 64 is the next age bracket. Net worth rises to $936,100 as the median. So by the time you hit this age, you've likely paid off your mortgage. And this makes perfect sense, because the average property price has been fluctuating in Australia between $900,000 and $1 million. So most people have paid their house off by this time and will have some super. So it makes sense that the net worth of people around this age would be roughly that figure. So by 65 to 74, the median net worth is $895,000. Now you might be thinking, well, why would it be dropping? So what we need to factor in at this point is that it starts to get a bit lower because people stop working and they start to draw on their super. So of course, when you stop working and then you start to draw on your cash reserves, that's obviously going to lead to a decrease. And this effect continues. By the next age bracket of 75 and over, you'll generally see that there's a median net worth of 722,000. So it drops by about 150,000 as people start to draw more out of their super, and of course, spend a bit more cash to enjoy their retirement. So that's all the various age brackets and the median net worth. You might be higher than where a lot of people in your age bracket sit, or you might be lower. The important thing is that you are consistently saving and you follow your own path. Comparing yourself to a multi-millionaire is probably not going to be the best thing for you at this point if you're not a multi-millionaire, because you guys might have started from certain places, there might have been certain advantages in other ways. So it's really important that you just do what you can do to increase your situation. So what is it that increases net worth? So from what it seems, the surefire way to increase your net worth is to be holding assets. Now, assets are things that bring you in money. So a car, for example, let's say it's just a car that you use to drive around and get places, that is not considered an asset. It might be worth money, but at the end of the day, it's costing you to run. Things like dividend stocks, investment properties are paying you to hold them, especially real estate after all of the tax benefits. So real estate, stocks, superannuation, all these things are assets, which will definitely lead to an increase in net wealth. So it's really important that what you do is you funnel as much money as you possibly can into things that are going to continue to make you money. Now, of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not saying exactly what you should do with your money, because, you know, that is up to you, and I'm just a guy on the internet. So it's important to consult with professionals in the area so that you can make the best possible decisions for your money. So what did you think about these figures? Are you sitting above the average net worth, or are you sitting below? What's some tips and tricks that you think people can use to increase their net worth? So I'd like to hear your comments. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We're bringing out videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on various topics, real estate, stocks, pretty much anything to do with making money. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you later.